Hey everyone, it's Cassie.
It's Esty.
We're
We're best friend-in-laws. We've got some shit to say.
I'm ready. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Hey besties.
Hey bestie, welcome back.
Whew. It's been a long week.
I know. It's been crazy. So this will be happy Thursday morning to everybody who's listening.
Woo!
We're
You
almost there.
loyals.
Almost there. Almost Friday. Almost the weekend. Almost drink day.
I almost picked up some today. I've been in my dry era right now
Yeah.
of not drinking, but I literally had so much that I was like, I need my summer drink, and I'm gonna be drinking it this weekend.
I'm about to put an inflatable pool outside just to put my feet in it and maybe have a little drink on the side and pretend I'm at the beach.
Yes.
So I wanted to jump right into, I heard today that I have a new listener, and the new listener had a request. And so I kind of just wanted to jump right into that really quickly and see your take on it. But so to set the scenario,
Mm-hmm.
you and your man are out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is already nice, right?
Yeah.
And say your man walks away for a few minutes. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
use the restroom or whatever. What do you do if another man approaches you and says, like, can I buy you a drink? What are you doing?
Honestly, I had this conversation recently too. I would, out of respect, I would possibly take the drink, but not for myself. I would order what my husband's drinking and be like, thank you.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, I'll be like, oh, look, this guy, here's a beer,
Yeah.
because I feel like if you take the drink for yourself, you're giving that guy that like open window that
Yeah.
like, oh, I have a chance, even though she's married. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, ring or not, I don't care. And some guys are macho that way, and they don't care that you have a husband or a boyfriend.
They don't like that answer.
They don't like that answer.
Yeah. I that's so funny. We are some loyal bitches because that was my same exact answer. That I was like, yeah, I'll take a Cosmo. No, actually, what is he like? Kamikaze.
Kamikazes. Oh gosh. New Year's double fisting kamikazes
Kamikaze on the hooks. Yeah, that's his drink, and why not get a free drink out of it?
Yeah.
I think that most men probably who do that, right? That's their act of gesture or their flirt. I think they probably get the hint that 9 out of 10 times they're probably not going to get a response out of it. And I don't think that I think sometimes when you tell them like, oh, I'm sorry, but no, sometimes you get really rude ass responses. Like all of a sudden I'm a bitch for saying no.
Yeah.
But I'm also a bitch for being loyal to my husband. Like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I think you're attaining the aspect, especially like even when I'm out with like my girls, we're all in relationships and we were at like a normal bar we all go to. If someone like wants to buy a drink or buys us drinks, we're just like, oh no, we already got it. Thanks. Like
Yeah.
But if our guys are with us, we'll be like, oh hey, this guy wants to buy all 6 of us around. Like,
Yeah.
Luckily like at that bar we know a lot of the normals, and so like it's
Yeah.
normal. But if it's somewhere I don't know anyone and I'm just with my girlfriends, I wouldn't eat unless one of my friends is single. I would be like, oh, you can buy her a drink.
Yeah, kind of just brush it off.
You brush it off.
Person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too, because I was like, you know what, you really either have to put yourself in that situation to either, maybe you don't even mean to look single.
Yeah.
But they caught you at the right time at the right place. Like I said, like they're gonna walk away and use the restroom, or they're gonna walk away to go pay the tab, or they're gonna do something to leave you by yourself for a few seconds. And if that person would have been watching, they would have seen he was with me. But like, yeah. I would probably take the free drink for him.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, look, babe, he bought us a drink.
Yeah. Because you don't want to put your husband in a situation where he's going to want to fight someone either. Like, you want to have a good night. Why would you want to put your, trust in your relationship on a line or put them in a situation, not even yourself, but them in a situation where they're gonna feel like I need to be macho and be like, "What the fuck, you're looking at
Yeah.
my woman,"
Motherfucker.
you know? Luckily, I feel like our men are very like, "Yeah, that's my girl, so yeah,
Mhm.
thanks for the drink," you know? I feel like they wouldn't really react,
Yeah.
so
So the other side of this that I was kind of mentioning to that listener was like, I didn't give too many details because I was like, you're gonna have to tune in to find out my answer for this. What if a woman buys you a drink?
I'm all about letting women buy me drinks. Sorry, I'll buy you a drink. You're pretty. It kind of goes off what we are saying, like when you meet women in the restroom and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I love your outfit," or
Yeah.
something. Um, that would be fine. Now, if the woman's like, "Let me buy you and your husband a drink, and let's see how this night goes,"
Mhm.
no, sorry, we can buy our own drinks. We
Yeah.
ain't looking for no throuple.
And that's where I was leading to is okay, but I've also been in situations where it was kind of like there's conversation and then it's like, oh, what are you drinking? Let me buy you a drink. And then all of a sudden, a couple drinks later, and we're like, um, did you just pick up the whole tab?
We ain't going home with you.
I don't swing that
Yeah.
way. That was a scary situation for me. I almost dodged a bullet there. Oh wait, I did dodge a bullet there. I did.
Yeah. Or I've been asked on like the dating apps years ago,
Mhm.
like couples get on there and they're like, me and my wife like to have extra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go somewhere else.
Thanks for all of the
Thanks.
drinks. By the way, couple, Harry's. But that was an awkward situation for me because I thought they just looked like a normal couple,
hmm
and then I started realizing that the guy was not drinking.
As much
Yeah.
or at
Me
all.
and the girl were doing shooters back to back, and the guy wasn't drinking. He was just kind of on the sidelines. And then I kind of put the two and two and two and two together, and I was like, oh man, this isn't cool. I got myself in a
Yeah.
situationship.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is be careful when you accept drinks from strangers.
Yes.
Well, especially nowadays, but
Oh yeah, everything's laced with everything, so be careful.
yeah, only drink your own drinks.
Yes.
So, um, that being said, how do you feel about like going out and things like that? Like, how do you, when you go out, do you split your tabs? Do
So it
you let someone pick
depends.
up a tab, or do you go back and forth kind of tab?
It definitely depends where we're at.
And who
So
you're with?
and who we're with.
Yeah.
Um, we have our group of like the face, we call it,
Hmm.
and it's couples. And if we're going out to dinner, we all kind of pick up our own tab. But if we're like doing drinks at our favorite bar or any bar, we'll do rounds.
Hmm.
You get one round. I mean, even with you and
Yeah.
like Jesse, we'll go round.
Yeah.
Um, but it just depends, I think, on the situation on like where we're at. But most of the time, if it's like dinner, we all pay for our own selves, and then
Yeah.
you
Does
know,
it go without being spoken? Like, is that an unspoken rule that you guys have?
yeah.
Okay.
I believe one time when I was actually in New York, Daniel went out with a phase,
Hmm.
and they played like Russian roulette with a card.
Fuck no.
And so they were like told the bartender that we know, and she was like, they're like, pick one and like cover the
Mm-mm.
names. And I was like, what did
Like
they
flip them all upside
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
No.
And he was like, they didn't pick our card. I was like, oh god.
Whose drunken idea was that?
Yeah.
No.
So normally it's just
By your
by
own.
your own
Yeah.
round.
I
So
agree. I think that like if you're in a large social situation, like more than 5 people type thing, if everybody is buying around, and maybe we should note this as everybody listening, it's called etiquette. If someone buys you a round of drinks, it is then your turn to
mhm.
produce the next round.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
that guy that takes all the drinks and doesn't pay for anything.
Yeah. And I definitely feel like too if like, we know in the situation too, like, um if it's brought up like, oh, like we invited you, like
Hmm.
it's okay if, payday's next week, that's also like okay and acceptable because it's
Yeah.
like we are all friends, But we're obviously not gonna, that person wouldn't take advantage and be like, let me get 6 rounds,
Yeah, definitely. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a really good example that I want to touch on. If it is your birthday
Mm-hmm.
and if I say, Cassie, I want to take you out for your birthday, let me pay
Yeah.
because I'm offering to take you out for your birthday,
Yeah.
right? Like that shouldn't, if if you say, SB, for my birthday, I want to go to this restaurant. I feel like, and then I show up and there's like 10 other couples.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that should be an unwritten rule that we each get our own tab.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we sit and talk about like, hey, like I got this half, like, or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would rather you come up with something like out loud.
Yeah.
Tell me the plan so that I know what we're doing. But I know if I'm going to a dinner with multiple people, we should be splitting the tab.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's something that's saying like, no, I invited, you're here, it's on me, it's on me, it's on
Yeah.
me. I don't like to fight for the check. I like to know
Yeah.
the plan, and I I will never expect someone to pick up the tab
Yeah.
ever. And I feel like, so remember I told you about that one situation in that graduation that we went to, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
to pay my half. Like I have to pay my half of the tab. And then,
Yeah.
that's a celebratory dinner. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, no, dude, like I was ordering drinks for you. Like that was
Yeah.
on my tab. You don't pay my tab. Like
Yeah.
I was so offended.
Yeah. No, yeah, you definitely, if it's not clear, make it clear. Have
Mhm.
the, talk.
I think that celebratory dinners, that's like a different, like, I don't know, that's just a different subject though. Like, if it's a birthday, a graduation, a wedding, how do you say, a
Mhm.
rehearsal dinner or something like that, I feel like that's usually when one person picks up the whole tab because
Mhm.
it's like, well, I invited you to be here. This is on me.
Yeah.
If it's a social thing, I feel like that should be an individual
Individual,
or,
yes.
like you said, by rounds.
By rounds, individual, or like, for instance, like birthday parties.
Mhm.
Things aren't cheap. And
Mhm.
if I'm taking like John's, I'm not in the financial place to be like, I got all adults
Yeah.
and all the children.
But I may pick up the
Uh,
kids.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'll be like kids, 10 and younger because my kids are little. Now
Yeah.
Emma's 11, so it'd be like maybe 13 and down, like I'll pay for.
Yeah.
But that's but you kind of initiate that on like an invite,
Yes,
or
put it on the
something.
invite. Yes.
Because then you don't have to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you cannot afford to go, just simply say
yeah,
no.
just have that conversation and
Like
I could
maybe I
figure it
might
out.
say, you know what? That's okay. I totally understand, but I'm still covering the children. You're welcome to drop them off.
Yeah,
And I completely understand, like, let your kids have a play day on me. I got it. We're going to have, the token cards or whatever
yeah,
it is. Like, don't worry about it. At least let your kids have a good time.
yeah,
Um, I'd rather people just have that conversation though. Like
yeah,
have an open, honest conversation and don't when you get invited to go out someplace, I don't want to say this without being mean. Just I guess like if you can't afford it, then maybe just don't go.
yeah,
Or like don't be cheap while you're there. Like, oh, this is really expensive. Well then don't go.
yeah.
It's okay to not go.
It's okay to decline.
Yeah. Like you know what? I can't this week. I'll catch them on the next round.
Yeah,
I think that that's okay.
I think that's okay too. And
Because it feels like it brings down the energy of the rest of the people that are there.
yeah,
Like when you're like, well, we're out to have a good time. We knew coming that we were gonna spend money.
yeah,
So like, don't be cheap in the corner.
yeah. Or, for instance, like you said, like, having those hard conversations. What about like invites to parties? Sometimes you're limited on space. This space only allows 250 people.
Mhm,
So you have to make the cuts.
mhm,
And you've heard me say it about like our wedding. Like I'm having 100 people or less.
mhm.
I'm not going over that. I don't care if you knew me since I was in diapers. Do I talk to you every day?
Yeah.
Have I seen you? Um, no. I don't even like literally some people that I've seen that I haven't seen in years, I'm like, "Oh, does that start their clock over?" And I'm like, "No, not really.
No.
Sorry."
When I was planning my wedding, the golden rule that I kept hearing over and over and over again was if you have not spoken to me in the last 2 years, and that's giving grace.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
more than
If
I
you
would give.
haven't if you haven't talked to me in the last 2 years and been in my life actively, I don't think you have a seat at my table
Yeah,
anymore.
no,
And because weddings can be so expensive, if you're gonna splurge and have a beautiful wedding, limit yourself and give no fucks.
yeah,
And I don't like when I said no kids, it hurt a lot of people's feelings. I don't
not mine.
care. Don't care. Don't come.
Yeah,
I'm giving you a year to get a babysitter.
yeah,
And guess what? Everybody came.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And that's how I feel too. I feel like my family's coming up in Sweet 16 era right
Mhm.
now. Everyone's like, 15, 14, 16, and I'm like, Emma's 11,
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna try to talk her into like a trip with 5 friends. Like, let's do Cancun, baby. Let's do,
You're gonna change your mind.
I probably will because
It's
I want her to
sentimental.
have a party,
Yeah.
but I'm not, no, like the same thing. I don't care. If you're a friend of a friend or been friends of the family or,
Yeah.
whatever, I want it to be intimate, just like I would want like our wedding to be and all that stuff. It's gonna be hard, but
Yeah.
I am prepared to have those hard
Yeah.
conversations. And sometimes you just have to have them with people like, hey, um, we're not taking little kids, or hey,
Seats
we're
are limited.
seats are limited, and if
Mhm.
I don't have an RSVP, you're not coming in. Because a lot of people don't RSVP and they
Yeah.
still show up, and then you have that floater table. Weddings, what they always have a floater table
Yeah.
for what?
I paid
No,
for
if you didn't,
10 extra plates just in case someone who didn't RSVP shows up.
yeah, nope, you didn't RSVP, you ain't getting in.
Yeah.
Per person, no.
Yeah. Also, if like so I know I don't have younger children anymore. But if it's no children or if you're limited on space, just tell me. They don't want to come. Trust me. They're at the
Mhm.
age where they don't want to come.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings or like, you know what, can you just the two of you guys come? We're kind of
Mhm.
limited like cuz most people that say no kids it's usually like 10 and under.
Yeah.
But trust me, they'd rather stay home.
Yeah.
So if you'd like me to limit that, I'm more than happy to accommodate. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I make kids. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
I'm
I
not there
was like
anymore.
that for a second because I feel like if you're going to invite me and my husband somewhere
Hmm.
and include one of our children, it
Mm.
needs to have a conversation with us because we
Yeah,
have 4 kids.
yeah.
So all are included or none are included.
But I agree with you there.
So that's and the only time I get defensive is like if
Yeah,
someone's included and not the others.
your family count is quite larger than 3.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a respect thing. But
Mhm.
either invite one or invite them all. Like
Yeah.
invite just the two of us as a couple or none of us or like
Yeah.
all of us.
I mean, my aunt had the conversation if she's doing no one under 13.
Okay.
Well, Emma's 11
Hmm.
and a little more mature, and we thought maybe she would want to go.
Yeah.
So we had the conversation, and she said, hey, do you think you'll bring her? And I said, I had thought about it, but not the boys because they're not interested
Hmm.
in a dance, loud DJ music. I asked Emma, and she was like, no, I
See,
don't want to go.
it worked itself out.
So it worked itself out,
Yeah.
but she didn't go and invite just her. It was more of like an age appropriate
Yeah.
situation.
I think that's okay, especially with like quinceañeras, sweet 16s. They're going to be a lot more of that child's age group there because
Mhm.
they're inviting their own friends and I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
that I'm fine with. I feel like a lot of people truly try to be as inclusive as possible.
Mhm.
And we don't have to do that. I think we need to grow out of that
Mhm.
tradition because I'm getting to the point in my life where I don't want to hear kids screaming anymore. I'm too old for that.
You only go to the movies at like what, 7 a.m.?
I'll go at 11 o'clock at night just to not be around anybody.
Give her the energy.
How about like back to the splitting the bill thing. How about in your dating history?
Um, well,
I have to ask you because I didn't have much of a dating history.
I thought I told you this before on a dating history. I've been told on dates when I was dating
Mhm.
before Daniel, oh, I hope you enjoyed this free meal. or
Ooh.
like I had this one really rude. I even gave him a ride because his car overheated, and I was like, he's like, my car overheated halfway there, like, but I still want to go. I don't want to cancel, so like, can you just pick me up? I'll leave my car here. And I was like, okay.
Mhm,
So we left his car there, and we went and we got a drink, not even food yet.
mhm.
And he brought up like, "Oh, it must be nice to be like a single mom and go on these dates and get free drinks and meals."
What the fuck?
And I said, "I didn't expect you to pay because
Mhm.
I would always make sure I had my own. But fuck you.
Yeah, date's over.
I paid for my drink and I left him there." And I
That's
blocked him.
so rude.
And I just yeah, so I feel like when I would date, I would, normal gentlemen would pay, but I would always make sure I had mine. And if it was someone that I went on multiple dates with,
Mhm,
you pay, I pay, like I
mhm,
wasn't always like free meal,
mhm,
you know. Um I think with Daniel, like I also said this before, he was trying to really woo me.
mhm,
And he was coming on my breaks with the Red Bull, Dutch Bros, picking me up to take me to lunch. But
mhm,
we would also go back and forth on paying, but he would, you know, come see me on my breaks and lunch.
mhm,
So I wasn't expecting him to like always pay.
mhm.
I blame him for gaining me weight though, because he was feeding me very well.
It's called happy weight.
But now we have a joint, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We both are like,
Yeah.
I'll pay, but it's the same account.
Do you do the slide the debit card underneath the so you're like, "Well, it's coming from the same account, but
Yeah.
let him pay. He has to pay. He has to be the one that pays."
Yeah. No, he doesn't care anymore. He'll just be like,
Really?
"You got to pay?" I'm like,
Oh gosh.
"From the same account?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's very much like, "I forgot my wallet. Give me your debit
Oh, yeah, no.
card."
He'll be like, "Oh, I forgot my wallet." I'm like, "Well, good thing it's on Apple Pay because I forgot my wallet too."
Ooh. Aw. Um yeah, I didn't get a whole dating era. So, I mean, back in the day, I guess, for as far as dating was concerned, I've usually always I don't know, the guys I was
Yeah,
dating, they were
they
paid. They
pay.
paid. You
Yeah.
didn't even have to discuss it. They just paid.
Yeah.
Maybe how do you say? Chivalry is
Chivalry is dead.
dead.
It's dead. Freaking fuck you, that guy. I
I
still get mad. I'm all.
I remember those ones, those
I
videos
don't
that
even
are
remember his name.
oh good.
But
Wasn't worth remembering. Um those videos that are like, who the fuck fought for our rights or whatever
oh yeah,
as
as
women.
women who fought for us,
But also,
as we're very independent women.
I
But
know,
yes,
I know. It's like I also want a career, but I also don't want to work. But also,
my life. I'm like, I also want to be self-efficient,
Mhm. But pampered, please.
pampered.
Did you see that video of that girl? She's like sitting, I don't know, across from a guy or whatever, and she's like, I just thought that you would pay for my meal or whatever. And he's like, why would I pay for your meal? He's like, because I
Yeah.
thought you were a man. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't even know you. They pan out, they're like at two different tables.
Oh gosh. He's like, are you even
I
talking
don't
to
know you.
me?
Why would I pay for your food?
There's women in movies, I'm sure it's in real life too, that like go to bars and go to places that just like, oh, I had brought enough for one drink and hopefully someone buys me one.
I could never.
Um,
I,
but
I think like if I were to have had that phase where I was going out into bars and like singly, I still don't think I could do that. Like let men pay for me.
I did.
I only did it if we were dating. Like, oh, okay, you want to pay for me? That's kind of nice. But I don't think that I could just go get all the free things. I know plenty of girls that can, and I cannot.
I would be like, oh, thanks.
Mhm.
And then I'd act lesbian. And then I'd get more drinks.
Oh gosh. Dipping on
But
both sides.
we would be like, oh yeah, thanks for the drinks. And then me and my best friend would be like, oh yeah, but we call each other Bae
We came together.
to this day. She's still Bae.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we would just be like, oh sorry, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah, I think the further we got along in our relationship, instead of like him paying all the time, then it became more of like, well, you buy the movie, I get popcorn and drinks.
Yeah.
Or I buy dinner, you buy the movies and popcorn and drinks or something like that. Like it would be like a 50-50 thing. So I feel like it's still the way things are today is the expensies.
Expensies. Well, before like Daniel moved in, I was like almost like this guy's always here. He cleans and like I feed him and
and then he cleans that up.
he cleans that up and he's here like more than 3 days or 3 nights a week. Why is he not paying me rent? And I literally was like, "Do you want to just move in? Because like I'm over here paying rent and utilities
Washing
and water." And yeah, that's like how he moved in because I was like, that makes no sense. Like you're also like,
I kind of like you, but I kind of need a roommate.
yeah, like I really like you, but you know, half of your stuff's almost here. Like all your clothes. I gave you a drawer. You gotta start paying some
serious.
Gotta start paying some rent. He moved in with me before my family met him.
We don't,
you know.
We don't talk about Bruno.
But yeah, so you know, it was like, hey, you should be paying rent or something.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
I remember he cleaned the house and I came home from work and I thought it was like my sister Carissa and she was like, oh no, the guy that was like sleeping in your room like came out and just started cleaning and I was just like, hi.
As long as he didn't try to hit on you, I mean,
and I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you he was in
there. Okay, so that's all happy dandy relationship things.
Yes.
I have to ask you
scared.
a question. All right, I'm gonna read this to you. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. I've been with my partner for 2 years and we have a 9-month-old baby. Since the baby has been born and never before, I have basically been begging to get married. And for some reason, my partner keeps saying he wants to, but we never do. I'm very straightforward about it. He claims he is waiting because he can't afford a fancy ring and wants to do something special. Quote, nothing will ever feel special after this fight we just had last week. Anyways. Well, we got into a fight last week where I almost left because of many things he said. He also said he never wants to marry me. Ooh. Stop there. Well, to keep me from leaving, he promised he would just go look at some rings, implying trying to move forward with the marriage stuff, but I just feel like my time is being wasted. He doesn't actually want to get married, and I'm starting to feel so unloved because if you cared about my feelings, this wouldn't be a problem. For that matter, I'm starting to feel pure anger from this topic and starting not to want it anymore. Even his mother asks him, what are we waiting for? And already called me daughter-in-law. I don't know. I just need some advice on how to move forward without giving ultimatums. I'm tired of being a quote-unquote stay-at-home mom in an unfamiliar state with his family with no support, no security, no job, and no money of my own.
So what's your question? Because I got lots to say.
So would you stick around?
Okay, so if he told me he did not see me and getting married, I would rehab that conversation because I feel like in an argument, it's not really fair. Because sometimes either your true feelings are coming out or it's like you're in the heat of the moment and how can I get you? How can I one-up you right now?
Yeah.
So I would readjust that. Like talk about it. First. And then depending on how that goes, I would probably leave. I'm all about ultimatums. I gave Daniel a 3-year to a 5-year plan because I love him so much. I extended it. We got married on our 5th-year anniversary, so he waited till that, deadline. But I probably would have extended it. But I'm just saying.
You're saying you wanted to be married before 30.
Yes.
And that was a big deal for you. Why was that a big deal for you?
I I think it was just myself. I
Is
set
that like a little girl dream of
a
yours?
little girl dream, a standard in my own mind, that, was like, I didn't wanna be, um, a single mom forever. I didn't
Mhm.
wanna just be a girlfriend. I actually I know I told him he could move in, but originally I was really, before he moved in, we had those conversations of like, this is my plan, and if this isn't what you're looking for, marriage, within this time frame, it's not gonna work for us
Mhm.
because that's what I wanted. I prayed and I was, you know, I had myself in a certain place where I was like, God, I'm not gonna always be in the situation, and
Mhm.
I, you know, wanted to be married, living with the person I love.
Yeah.
So that's like it. So I feel like that's where it mainly came from too.
Like
Cause
to
I
see
just
if your goals were aligned.
yeah.
If this isn't something that you're looking for, then it's not going to work.
Mhm.
And did that, if he would have said, here's the thing though, I do love you, like wholeheartedly love you. I just don't believe in marriage. What if it was that instead?
We probably wouldn't be together.
What if it was, I'll do a ceremony, but I don't want to legally be married?
Probably wouldn't do it.
Okay. Ultimately, the goal was
Marriage.
marriage.
The goal for me was marriage. That was my end game.
Hmm.
Like no matter what.
So, had 5 years and 3 days went by, you would have
uh
extended it. You already said
I know. I
that.
probably would have extended it, but not long.
Okay.
And after we got married, I mean, some of my family is like, "Oh, he wanted to plan something. Well, then why didn't you help him?"
Hmm.
Because we did elope, so it was kind of different. But if he had a plan, I wasn't really pressuring him. It was just the
Right.
day. But
Because there are girls who will marry with a Walmart ring
yeah.
or a ring pop.
Yeah, I
Like,
literally was like, the same thing. He's like, I want to get you like the best ring. And I'm like, I don't care about the
mhm.
ring.
It can always
Like,
come later as
it
well.
can come later. I will marry you. I'm that girl. I will marry you with a Walmart ring, a ring pop ring, a string, a tattoo, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sign those papers, honey. Like, and also to a lot of like conversations, when we talk about life insurance and when you fill out emergency contacts and
Right.
life decisions,
What are you
I
gonna put
don't
your boyfriend?
yeah, my boyfriend.
Your little
Or
boyfriend.
he would be like, "Don't unplug me." I'm like, "I have no rights. You better go talk to your mama." Like,
Don't unplug me.
yeah, you
I want to
know?
live.
So I was just like, I have no say. I'm not your legal
Yeah.
wife. So, um, that
Yeah.
kind of pushed him a little because I was like, oh, I'll tell your mom to unplug you. You
I'll
better
trip
go
over that
marry
cord.
me. I'll be like, I gotta charge my phone. I'm just kidding. But I would leave. If it, like I said, you have the conversation, he's still like solid, I'm not gonna marry you. Men know. As much as they don't like to admit it
Or are scared
or
of
scared,
marriage.
yeah, like they know they're gonna marry you. They
Yeah.
know they love you. They're not gonna invest this time
Yeah.
into you and not get married.
I was scared, and that's why I never brought up the topic of marriage. I mean, maybe twice in our whole relationship that I ever mentioned anything about marriage, and all the other times we're like, I'm not getting married. I'm not getting married. Like, I was afraid of marriage. I was afraid of a commitment again
Mm-hmm.
because I had a horrible first time. So it wasn't a really good experience, and I didn't want to duplicate that. I was like trauma responding, I don't want to get married. I love you and I will be with you till the end of our days. But I don't know that I want to commit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be stuck in a situation where I was like, fuck, man, here we go again. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that that's what I think of Jesse, but I feel like I was
That's your
terrified
trauma,
of the
and
commitment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember you like crying to me drunk all one night, like, I never brought up marriage, but now I'm ready to marry him, and he still won't ask.
I still want to ask.
Hasn't
I
asked
fucking
me.
shot myself in the foot pushing it off for so long that I was like, I do want to marry
You're
him.
like, I changed my mind. Please ask me.
How do I tell you to ask me without telling you to ask me?
Yeah, exactly.
If I was her, in that situation, the minute we're having a heated conversation and you tell me that you do not see us being married, I think it's time for me to start getting my ducks in rows
Yeah.
to get the fuck out.
At least get, like she said, she has no job, no
Mhm.
family. That's a narcissist move of him having all the control. He's already thinking, I don't have to marry you because what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Um,
there's no benefit in
there's
that.
no benefit. So I would start, like you said, getting your ducks in a row, getting a little part timer, putting some of that cash away,
Yeah.
making work friends, mom friends,
I'd be like,
you
give me
know,
$100 for groceries, and then I'd spend $50 at the dollar store, and
yeah,
pocket the other 50.
yeah, something.
So I wanted to read you that because I had heard of something called a shut up ring. And basically, what it is for the girls who are like, I want a ring. You have to marry me. I want to get married. When are you going to marry me? I want to get
Mhm.
married. Like, they don't want to go through with the wedding, but they still buy the ring. And then it just buys them more time.
Mhm.
So it's like, here's your ring. Shut up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, yeah, I get to plan my wedding. And then
6 years
5
down the
more years.
road,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 5 more years go by, and it's like, oh, I thought you guys were getting married. You announced your engagement, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, oh, did he just do that for me to shut up?
Mhm.
That's a shut up ring.
I never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
That probably
I
should
think
have
that's
been
foul.
me.
Stop. If you wouldn't have eloped.
Yeah. Cause he's so anal about having like the perfect, you know him.
Yeah.
Like he checks his outfit way more than I do when I walk out the door. Like I walk out of the door like this. Um, but yeah, I think that is his thing. He would want the most extravagant and perfect thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to wait for that. Like I was like, I'm okay with 5 people. I'm okay with
Yeah.
the courthouse now. And he was
You were
like,
okay with one
yeah,
person.
I was okay with one person. But um a lot of that too played into the part I was like, I want that person to see me married and happy before what if something
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah.
Um but
Do you feel like the wedding is now an IOU for him?
yes, which we were planning it and then we
Yeah.
kind of just went back on hold cuz life gets in the way.
Mhm.
But
It's not easy.
it's not easy.
Fuck no.
But, definitely probably 2026 still, because that would be, like, our 2-year mark, but, I think
But there's a difference between getting your ring and actually getting married.
yeah,
So I feel like for girls who just go ahead and just they get the ring, they're so happy, they get to take the pictures and wear the ring
yeah,
and boast about it, but it never actually happens.
mhm,
Honey, that's a shut up ring.
that is a
He
shut up ring.
bought some time for you to shut up so he doesn't have to
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah, no.
But I don't
No,
think that's
thank
fair
you.
either.
It's not fair.
And I feel like if you don't put that timeline on, okay, I have my ring, now it's time. I think if you're not going to go be willing to go down and actually, elope like you did or Vegas or whatever,
Mhm.
you need to put a time on that.
My dad and his wife were literally started dating before I think after I already met Daniel
Mhm.
and got married, like, the same year, because that was what they wanted.
Their goals aligned.
Their goals aligned. They were really religious. They didn't want to live together before being married.
Mhm.
They, had it set.
Yeah.
And that worked for them. They're still happily. They are 5 years married.
Mhm.
Because of that.
I think when you know,
6 years.
too. And I think that's a different age
Mm-hmm.
group that when they got to that point in their life, they're like, no, this is the person I see myself spending the rest of my life with. And they're safe to go jump into that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are taking our time, especially in our age group. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us are taking our time to buy a home. I know people that are in their 30s and 40s and barely starting to have kids.
Yeah.
I think we're very slow paced in the way we do things. And it's definitely not traditional first comes love, first comes marriage,
Yeah.
kind of thing, or second comes marriage, whatever. Like, I don't think that we do that anymore. I
No.
think that's slowly fading away to where the next generation of people is not going to be married and not going to have kids. And I don't know, I see that a lot.
Yeah.
It tends to be trending. So in her situation, I feel like I'd start moving out. It sounds like she relocated for this guy. She has no
Yeah.
family, no support, no anything. And you know what? There are plenty of resources out there.
And the baby's only 9. Pack the baby, go back to your family. And if you don't have family,
Yeah.
then there's tons of resources out there.
So at least, like, the worst case scenario is you need a babysitter for you to get a job.
Yeah.
Like, a part-time babysitter. That's about
Yeah.
it.
It's time to make a choice. So I'm gonna bring up counting favors.
Okay. What do you mean?
Like I don't count favors. If let's say you got a flat tire.
Mhm.
I went and helped you.
Mhm.
I don't know how to change a tire, but I went and helped you.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna count that favor and be like, oh, you owe me.
IOUs.
No IOUs.
Okay.
I feel like I have got a lot of help from my family, friends. When Daniel wasn't in the picture, single mom, even now, yes, they'll help me if I need it. Um, I did get a lot of help. I never expected for anyone to kind of be like, well, now that I need help,
Mhm.
why aren't you helping
Remember
me?
that one time when I helped you, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah? Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't go help people to expect anything back. I don't
Yeah.
go take help from people
Mhm.
expecting for them to throw it in my face
Mhm.
later, years later,
Mhm.
weeks later, whatever. I was raised that way with my family. We're always there if someone needs us. But I do feel like lines blur.
Mhm.
There's a difference of like helping someone and then being like the little puppet stringer
Mhm.
down the line too. Um, and I feel like somewhat in my family we grew up like strings are always attached to something.
Mhm.
Like, here you go, here's this, and then there's a string attached to it,
Mhm.
you know?
There's an IOU in
An
the back of it.
IOU in the back of it, I guess that would be the word.
Yeah.
But I just also feel like a lot of us aren't that way.
Yeah.
And it just sucks because I don't, I'm just not that person. And I feel like you guys aren't that type of way. And other people in my family aren't that type of way. Not
Mhm.
everyone. But I don't think people should count favors.
Yeah.
Unless it's like I'm borrowing,
Mhm.
or something,
Yeah.
then, you would expect it back. But if I'm helping you, like a flat tire, picking up the boys because I'm down the street and you were running late or something, you shouldn't count that.
Yeah. If you also can't give back when, like, so if I say, "Hey, I really need you this time," like, I don't want to hear, because I've done this, this, and that for you, can you go do this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be reminded of all the things that you've done for me either.
Yeah.
Um, no, I don't count favors. I don't keep track of favors. Unless I say, like, okay, I got you this time, but please get me next time. Like,
Yeah.
I would hope that that's noted somewhere in the. I'm not gonna go write it down or make a log or a ledger,
Yeah.
but like, I think I tend to distance myself from people like that, because I think after, say there's 50 favors in the last 60 days.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm done with the favors, right? It's becoming an inconvenience, or they're always asking or whatever. I don't mind an every once in a while thing. That's fine with me. No problem. But when it becomes almost an expectation
Mm-hmm.
that, like, so say, and you've never asked me to do this, but if your kids needed to be picked up on Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
or I notice a trend that it's every Monday, and
Mm-hmm.
then one Monday I tell you I can't do it tomorrow, and you're like, oh, well, I don't understand. Like, you've done it every other Monday and it wasn't a problem. Like, I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. That was a favor out of the kindness of my heart. And now it sounds like an expectation on your end.
Yeah.
That is not cool. I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
I haven't had too many people in my life that I feel the favor thing, like
Mm-hmm.
the continuous favors. And I feel like I don't rely on people at all.
Mm-hmm.
Ever, ever, ever. If I have a flat tire, I'm changing that bitch.
Yeah.
Um, if I need to pay a bill, I'm hustling for that bill.
Mm-hmm.
I never ask for help. And I
Mm-hmm.
struggle with that. That's not a pro, that's a
Pro, yeah.
con.
Mm-hmm.
That's a con for me, because I struggle with asking for help.
Yeah.
My mentality is I will figure it out.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like other people need to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tend to remember, like, just because they can ask for help doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that I need to work on also asking for help.
Yeah.
It's not the same example, but when we were driving out of town this weekend, I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
That Jesse was like, I'll drive. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I am.
You're probably.
I
Just kidding.
could not relax my body, could not sleep, could not stop, like, judging him for his driving.
Mm-hmm.
I was already cranky, tired, back killing me, and I couldn't relax. And so I felt even worse being confined to a passenger seat where I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I lashed out. And I was like, this is why I don't ask for help. This is why I don't ask for help. This felt like it was me throwing myself, like, back in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you wouldn't be complaining if you were just suck it up and drive today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm having this whole conversation with myself right now.
Did you answer yourself though?
Absolutely.
Oh gosh. It's not good.
Which reminds me, I wanted to ask you. When you talk to yourself, because come on, we all do it.
Yeah.
When you talk to yourself, do you say I, you, or we?
I don't talk to myself like that. When I talk to myself, I mean like I'll think in my head about things.
Mm-hmm. But do you say, like, you have to get up tomorrow for something like that? Or do you say, like, I have to get up in the morning, I have this to do?
I think like this morning I was like, get your ass up.
You didn't say it. A
Like
prefix.
your.
Oh.
No. I'll be like, yeah, get up. Your.
Okay. Yeah, I say
Because that's
you.
normal.
Yeah, okay, so you say you.
Not saying we, I, no. Or saying like, get up and then be like, yeah, I know. No. Don't do that. Oh,
Don't answer yourself in
you're
that
not
way.
supposed to answer yourself.
Mind your business if I say something out loud that doesn't make sense.
If I'm in my feelings, I just get my notes. I'm like, I'll just talk really loud.
I think I say you. When I'm talking to myself, I literally talk to myself like, you have this tomorrow.
Oh, I say your. Like, get yourself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you'll be like, you have to get up. Let's get up now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I need to know what everybody else has. When me and Jesse go shopping, we say, do we like this? Like, do we like this candle? Do we like the way
both
this
of you or one of you?
No, like, I'll ask
So
him,
I would, okay.
like, if we're candle shopping, and I'm like, do we like this?
Because it's two of you.
Yeah, but, like, I need him to answer on behalf of both of us.
Wouldn't he just be answering for himself?
If he agrees, then it's a mutual yes.
So that means you answered for yourself and he also answered for you.
Yeah, all three of us. It's cute because I saw this gay couple in Hobby Lobby saying it. They're like, do we like this? And we've done it ever since. So it was the cutest thing ever.
It's not an original thing. It's we copied someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to come up with that shit.
I was hoping you were because I was like, we're going to take her to the loony bin. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. Oh, goodness.
What were we talking about?
Offers. I mean, like, you know.
Favors.
Offers. Wedding.
That's way
oh my gosh, I gotta go buy something for the party this weekend. I'm supposed to go to do.
Oh no.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Tomorrow's Thursday. I still have time.
Yeah. Favors. No, I do not keep track of your favors. If you ask me for something, I'll do it. I don't expect anything in return. Unless it's been verbally said out loud. Like, can you do this for me? Or I got you on Friday. Or like whatever. Like,
yeah.
That's a difference. that's an IOU.
Yeah.
But if it's like,
or like our husbands when they go on lunch to 7-Eleven and they're like, oh, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the same thing like paying
but then they'll just go back and forth every damn day.
Yeah. To me, that's picking up the tab.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was like the kids' parties, oh, can you grab cake plates?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bring you the receipt.
Yeah.
No. That's just, of course. That's why I text you, do you need anything before I get there?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's me offering, I got you.
And honestly, you're probably good for cake plates because you don't get there till cake time.
Yeah. Or unless you need something the day before.
Something she can drop off.
Yeah. Or very, very last minute that day. I'm good for that. Don't ask me for potato salad in the beginning.
Don't ask for anything that needs to be there on time.
Yeah. I'm okay with admitting that. That's okay. But yeah, no, that's something that's me offering and not expecting anything. I'm not going to show up with the receipt. I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm here. It's $5. Do you want it? Like, no, no, that's me saying I'm on my way. This is your last resort to get something from the store if you need something because I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And I got you. Or, hey, I'm going to come see you for lunch. I'm picking up this. Do you want something?
Yeah.
That's not me asking you to Apple Pay me for your meal.
Yeah.
No, just wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Good. We're good people.
I try. I feel like I have a black heart sometimes.
No, you go way too far above and beyond. You're above the clouds.
But I feel like that's only for like people I know or like family. Like if you're someone I don't really know, like a coworker, like I'd rather you think I have a heart of black.
No, you're too nice.
I know. I'm too nice at work.
You gotta work on that.
I don't know anything else. I think it's
you're a caregiver.
Always have been.
You go too far sometimes.
I was like 11 and 12 watching like my mom's coworkers, like 5 kids. Because I used to like just taking care of kids. I always knew I was going to be a mom because I would just love taking care of kids.
No, but I'm talking about doing for people. You have to learn to start saying no sometimes.
I do look no. I just told you. No, I can't do that. Does that count?
No.
Okay. Just gonna try.
Anyways, we have one last announcement before we
yeah, I'm so excited. We're gonna have a guest, our first actual guest on our new platform.
Oh yeah.
For season 2 the following episode after this one comes out. So next week. We're super excited. It's a woman. Of course, I gotta give a little bit of something, but we just want to be women supporting other women and other, small entrepreneurs.
Yes. I'm so happy to be able to provide a platform for someone who has a small business.
Mm-hmm.
We love business owners. I think that's wonderful.
We're excited. I'm excited.
We're going to clap loud for the people who are on their own 2 feet. And whether you're successful or struggling, we're going to clap extra hard for you. So stay tuned for next week. It's going to be so much fun. And
if you yourself want to be a future guest,
write in.
Let us know because we love to collab.
Right. DM us, email us, let us know. We are here for you.
Yeah. Bye, besties.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another hour of our bullshit.
Make sure you follow us on all of our socials at bfil.podcast.
You can catch us every week on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Bye, besties.